of your own culture. And the genesis of this play is in my personal experiences working as the historical expert for a sustainable travel company in China. And this is a company founded by a Hong Kong businessman, very much like in my play. It was very idealistic. I was quite concerned about the impact of mass tourism in China on the environment and especially on the livelihood of local people. Villages suddenly going from like farming and herding yaks, nomadic lifestyle, to suddenly everybody in the village selling souvenirs or doing folk dances. So he was quite upset about this, and he founded this company to try to pioneer an alternative paradigm of tourism in which there'd be very few tourists. If you have 20 tourists paying $100 US per night rather than 2,000 tourists paying $10 US a night, the village would still have that income, but it would impact far less on the traditional livelihood. I found working with them that it wasn't quite as simple as that. The traditional communities did not necessarily want to go on farming and herding yaks. They wanted to join the modern world, but they wanted to do it on their own terms. This is the conflict in the play. Idealistic Hong Kong entrepreneur wants to preserve traditional lifestyles. Then there are the guides and the traditional community. They don't want to be overwhelmed by mass tourism. They all want like fridges and TVs. Of course they would. And then Western tourists, they're fascinated by the idea of Shangri, by mysticism, by expressive spirituality. And they come here searching for something that's quite impossible, like expecting every Tibetan they meet to be a spiritual guru. And I think the burden of this expectation on local people who have to play to that stereotype and lose their authenticity. I think traveling to another country is like any other relationship. It's like a personal relationship. If you feel a lack in yourself and you expect that somebody else to fulfill it, it's never going to work. If you go to another country because you're very dissatisfied with your own, whether it's your own culture or your own life, and you're seeking fulfillment in somebody else's country, that's always going to set up such false expectations. Whereas I think if you go to another country and you're like, well, I'm from a very interesting, complex society, and they are also from a very interesting, complex society, and I'm going there to gain a fresh perspective on the world and on my own society, and we're there as equals, and I think that works. I've lived in, obviously in Hong Kong and Tokyo for a while, and I think these are very modern societies, but it's a very different modernity from a Western modernity. Any community can arrive at a modernity of their own on their own terms. I don't think having cars and mobile phones and everything necessarily westernized or being colonized. I think that kind of permeates all of my writing. It's just a question of identity and of trying to preserve it, trying to communicate it, trying to adapt to a new environment without losing a core.